everyone, welcome back to another episode on my channel. While I was driving the other day, I was thinking to myself that I really didn't try this get ready with me kind of a vlog. So I thought this could be the perfect reason where I am heading out right now and I have some time in my hand where I can do my makeup and talk to you all simultaneously, sharing my thoughts and opinions because आज मेरा कुछ ज्ञान देने का मन कर रहा है. I'm in philosophical mode today and I would like to share few things that I've learned while being single. Because oftentimes being single is portrayed as there is something wrong with you. You are at fault. You are broken, or you have a very tragedy life. You are unlovable. You are unworthy. All of these thoughts come to you when you are single, right? But I really want to talk about the contrary thoughts I've had after being single and after worked on myself for about 4 years now. And I really want to tell, what if you change your mindset about being single from being at fault to being the luckiest girl in the world? What if it's the best season of your life and God has given you a second chance to enjoy your life to the maximum before you find the right one for you? So while I get ready today, I thought I would share 11 things I have learned after becoming single. And this isn't about hating love or a relationship. It's not that I'm against any relationship in general, but this is about coming home to yourself and loving yourself more and being comfortable as who you are. And I hope it helps you feel less alone. Since this is a get ready kind of a video, I would like to even tie my hair up. It's not yet done completely and it's raining continuously over here and it's kind of gotten freezy. I need to fix my hair after I do my makeup. So let's get started. McCafe Naked Detox Green Tea Face Serum, and I've been loving it. It's amazing and wonderful. Not to divert my topic, but yeah, being single has taught me you start seeing yourself clearly. When you're in a relationship, especially the wrong one, it's like looking at your reflection through someone else's glasses. What I mean is, say, suppose you get angry because of your partner's behavior, and that partner tells you that you're always angry, you're the angriest person I've met. But in reality, you're not an angry person at all. You're probably the most loving person. Just because your partner said that you're an angry person, you tend to see yourself as an angry person. But once you move out of your relationship, like, you feel, whoa, is this really me? You begin noticing what lights you up, what makes you uncomfortable, what makes you happy, what are your real dreams. And to be honest, it really is scary when you start getting to know yourself so well. What are your likes, what are your dislikes, what lights you up, what makes you sad, which people make you really happy, which people drain your energy. Once you start getting to know about yourself, the things around you, the people around you, it is such a freeing kind of a feeling, and it is also intense. But you start noticing little things in yourself as well as little things around you. Next is, loneliness and freedom often comes in the same box. What I mean by this is, at first, yes, it does feel lonely when you're right out of relationship, when you see people around you are all cuddling and holding hands and sitting together in a cafe, in a restaurant, or the movie theater. There are no good morning texts, no one to share silly inside jokes with. But slowly, the loneliness shifts into freedom. The freedom to design your day just like the way you want to live, your choices, your voice, and that kind of freedom, most people don't even know it exists. So some days feel so empty, but others feel full of possibility. I used to confuse loneliness with failure, but now I just see it as space to become who you are, space to hold your dreams, space to, be that version of yourself you always wanted to be when you were as a little girl or as a little kid. So it taught me that if you really love your freedom, then you really have to be okay with being lonely. Next, I'm going to use sunscreen. Being single is not a defect. It's kind of like a redirection to your life. There's this weird idea in this world, in this society as a whole, that if you're single, there is something wrong with you, or probably you are at a fault. Like I said earlier, that you are unworthy of loving, or she must be really a rude person, or she must really be that kind of person that nobody likes to gel with. But what if you change your thinking from unworthy or unloving to just, universe is trying to protect you, God is trying to protect you from all the wrong people that you're going to end up and spoil your life with? What if it's giving you a space, a complete new space, or kind of a rebirth, to work on yourself, your wounds, your problems, your traumas before you start carrying someone else's trauma, someone else's problem, someone else's life's decision. It's not the end of your love story, okay? Probably you can think it as it's the preparation for the best chapters of your life that is about to come. I've realized that I'm not good at doing get ready with me because my concentration is either at talking or only doing the makeup. I'm not good with doing this multitasking. But anyway, let me give this a try because I also really want to try something different. You start dressing and living for yourself. For the first time in years, I wasn't dressing to impress somebody out there. What I mean by this is, I started asking myself before I stepped out anywhere, how do I want to feel today? Who do I want to look like? Do I want to look like a powerful lady? Do I want to look like a soft girl? Do I want to dress boldly? Do I want to wear a revealing clothes? And honestly, that shift is magic because I was choosing my outfit based on what I was feeling rather than what he will like or what other guys will like or what other girls or anybody out there would comment about my dress. I wear what I feel beautiful in. I do what I feel like doing. I travel wherever I want to travel. No permission needed. And honestly, that level of self-approval is addictive. You really start taking charge of your life and do whatever you feel like doing whenever you want to feel like doing. Even if you're wearing revealing clothes, even if you want to feel like wearing bold clothes, you don't have somebody to take permission. Am I really looking good? Is this too revealing? You feel, even though you know it's revealing, you still wear it and walk out like a queen because you truly want to look different from other people, right? Using the loose powder from K Beauty. Next thing is you learn to self-soothe. When something goes wrong, there's no one to dump your emotions or feelings or irritation with, but you start learning how to hold yourself, how to cry, how to be okay with whatever you're feeling. Whoever has done wrong to you, you start acknowledging that, okay, this happened because I behaved this way or I responded that way. You start taking responsibility for that situation, even though you're not at fault, but you allow the other person to hurt you, right? That is still your responsibility. You talk to your journal like your best friend. You pour your heart over there, writing each and everything that made you feel sad, that made you hurt, that made you unhappy about, or record a video diary, just like how I do sometimes when I feel so lazy to write or to journal things out. I open my camera and literally start talking to myself. I try convincing myself. I try soothing myself, just like how I would do to a little girl when she's feeling sad or unhappy about the life or the situations or things that didn't work out for her. Being alone, you get to do all of these things. You get to know when you feel sad what you really like to do for yourself in order to cheer yourself up, in order to bring back that happy energy. Next, I'm using K Beauty blush in the shade of Tickle Pink. So the next thing is you can travel without asking and depending on someone else's schedule anymore. No checking dates, no coordinating time off. If I feel like booking a solo trip this weekend, I just do it. I roam, I eat, I wander around, and every trip becomes a remembering act for me for who I am. I really don't have to depend on somebody else's schedule. Like this week, I am free and I want to go for a trip. Probably the other person is not available, and you cancel your trip just because you cannot go alone, just because you're scared of traveling alone. I think that is so sad. And probably if you haven't tried going on a solo trip yet, then it's high time for you to go on a solo trip. It's not necessary that it could be a 10 days or 15 days of solo trip. Try with at least going for a weekend getaway. Like travel today and come back tomorrow. Spend one entire night all by yourself and sit with yourself. Do things that actually make you happy. Even if you're spending one entire night in just your hotel room or Airbnb room, whatever it is, but go for that solo trip if you really haven't taken. It really changes the way you perceive everything about travel. That's for sure. Next, I'm gonna use this eyeshadow highlighter from Nika. It's a very old one, probably 1.5 year old, and you can see it's already broken. And I use this almost every single day. I'm gonna do some brown shades. Okay, moving on to what I was saying is your standards for love change completely. Earlier, when somebody was not responding to my messages or my call back, I would overthink to myself, did I do anything wrong? Did I hurt that person in the name of making jokes? Why is this person not returning my call? And now, after being single for a while now, I've realized I don't want to chase love. I want to be fully myself, the goofy, the dreamy, the bubbly kind of a girl, the ambitious girl that I am. And I want someone who just gets that, who just accepts me for who I am. And being single gave me so much of clarity. I literally made a list, literally 2 pages list. Probably it has like 35 to 40 kind of personality traits, the physical traits, the internal traits that I'm looking for in my partner, what I want in my partner, what I absolutely can't compromise on, what are my non-negotiables, and what kind of energy I want to him get in our relationship, or me having that relationship altogether, our vibe in the relationship. So now if I meet someone new, I just got to go back to that list and see that if that person meets at least 8 or 9 out of the 10 lists that I've made, if he meets all my non-negotiables, then I can think of dating that person, or that person is worth my time of exploring. So ladies, if at all you're single out there and you haven't made your list yet of what your dream partner should look like, should be, his qualities, his personality, the way he has to treat you, make those lists. At least you'll get a clarity of what kind of person you really want to be with and spend the rest of your life with. Because we're not just talking about 2 or 5 years of relationship, we're talking about 30, 40 years of our life to be spending with that one person that we're going to be with, right? So you have to make your choices smart. Okay, I realized that I was talking with my mic off and the other mic actually was running low on its battery, so I had to change my mic, and I'm already done with my mascara and lipstick. So I use Maybelline Hyper Curve mascara, and this is absolutely one of my favorite mascara. It stays really long. It's long lasting, waterproof, and also I use a lipstick from Stays 929. It's two-in-one lipstick where you have the color plus the gloss, and it's absolutely, this nude shade. This is in the shade of I Am Bubbly, and I absolutely love this shade. It highlights my lips and it makes my lips look plumpier. So what I was talking while I was applying my lipstick and mascara was that you stop settling in every other area of your life. What I mean by this is, to give example, there was a time I would go for dinner dates with my friends that I didn't want to be part of, or I didn't want to actually go, but just to not feel left out all alone in my room, I would just self-invite myself and be part of that group and started people pleasing, or I would laugh at their stupid jokes that didn't sit with me or align with me just to fit in. I used to do all of those things. I was a big, big, big people pleaser. But ever since I started being single, I realized what kind of people drain my energy, what kind of people nourish me, my soul, aspires me to do more, motivate me. And honestly, I'm now at a space where I can spend my Saturday night all alone by myself in my room, either, sipping on wine or beer, reading a rom-com novel or watching a comedy show, putting the face mask on, even if I don't have people to go out with. Okay, it's not that I don't have people to go out with, but worst case scenario, if I don't have anybody, I can do this kind of night out as well, all by myself. And the best part of being single is that you finally have time to build your dream. What I mean by this is you now have time, so much of it, time to take courses, time to learn creating content, build a side business, and no one's saying you that you're always on your laptop, you're always busy with your career, you don't have time for me. You get all the time in the world. Even if you want to work late in the night, you can do it without even feeling guilty about doing it. You have that liberty to bring your dream into reality. Isn't that amazing part? And I would also like to tell that only the luckiest ones get this time. Okay, to be single right now is a gift. It doesn't mean you'll always be alone. Obviously, you will find your partner, your soulmate, or your better half, whatever you want to call it. But until then, until you find that right person for yourself, think this as a sacred time to work on your dreams, to work on yourself. Not everybody gets this kind of a time, even if they want to. There are a few people out there who are struggling to be single. They feel that single life is much better than that because they might be stuck up in a lot of commitments or overburdened with responsibilities. They really cannot live their life, or they cannot really enjoy being single again. But if you are single, or you are in the verge of breaking up and going back to a single life again, then please, please, I would suggest you to enjoy this little time all by yourself, because it just means life is giving you this once in a lifetime chance to become someone that you can fall in love with yourself even before you start loving anybody else. This is my final look. I'm wearing a white skirt and a pastel green kind of a top because I just felt like looking like a soft girl. That's why I dressed up like this. And last but not the least, I would like to say that you learn how to be your own plan B. One of the best things of being single is that I have finally learned how to be my own plan B. Friends cancel, no problem. I take myself out. That date night turns into no ticks back or doesn't reply you back. Fine, I'll order the sushi for myself. I'll light a candle in my hall or in my living room and watch my comfort Netflix series or comedy show as if it was always the plan. And I don't wait around anymore for someone else to make my life exciting. I am the excitement. You get what I'm saying, right? And honestly, that's power. That's quite a power. Okay, before I end this video, I want to clearly tell that I am not against any relationship or I'm not against any love life or anything. I'm only against people who staying in a wrong relationship just because they are scared of being single or scared of being lonely in their life. I am all for those girls who are choosing themselves even when the world or the society tells them otherwise, that your clock is ticking, you're already getting old, why don't you settle down, why don't you look for a partner. I am in support for those girls. I love love. I love the idea of love. Even I want to have a relationship. I want to have a partner too. Someone who gets me, someone who supports my dreams, someone who lets me be fully myself the way I am, and someone who meets me halfway where I am. But until I meet someone like that, I'm not going to settle down. Not because I am too picky or choosy or my standards are too high, which is, but because I finally know what I deserve. And people will definitely comment like, why are you still single? Your age is passing by, your biological time is clicking. Why do you want to stay single? Why don't you find a partner for yourself and get settled down? But here's the truth, they don't get to live my life. They don't know what kind of relationship, what kind of life I'm looking for and I'm ready for. But I do, right? And until then, I'll continue to live my life fully just the way I want to live it, whether that means that dancing in my kitchen or crying on my couch like a couch potato or booking a solo trip one midnight and traveling the next weekend. And if someone amazing walks in my life, then great, I am in love with it. But if not, I still have a beautiful life to live. And if this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it right away. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel below and let me know in the comments how did you like my get ready with me kind of a vlog. I would rate this video probably 6 on 10. I need a lot of improvement because clearly I'm not good at multitasking while I'm doing my makeup and talking. I am losing concentration on either of the thing, and probably I need a little bit of improvement. But let me know your thoughts so that I can do better in my next video. Until I see you next time, my name is Maitli Nayak, signing off. Bye.